Hey guys, welcome back to more Fallout 4. We're about to explore Kellogg's memories after I put my hat back on. There we go. Okay, let's do this.
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host. Mnemonic activity coming from the transplant. It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on.
Okay. Didn't we do something like this in Fallout 3? Where we were in that virtual neighborhood?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary. I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location. There. This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
This is so weird. But cool.
Remember, you are experiencing these memories as Kellogg. This may prove disorienting at first.
I was such a dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? Mom knew how it was. She wasn't soft, but she loved me in her way. And she protected me from Dad. That cost her more than a few beatings. I never knew what happened to her after I left. I didn't want to know. Not then. People always hoping for something better. They usually end up with something worse.
What?
Dad was either drunk or not around. I guess he must have run with one of the raider gangs, but I never really knew what he did. Don't know why Mom was with him. Maybe at some point in his life he wasn't a complete asshole.
What's it mean, Mom? Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days, like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop singing you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this.
What?
You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio. Oh, useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be what we're looking for.
Yeah, this is completely irrelevant.
There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. Focus on the petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand. That's what happiness felt like.
Who are you?
I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me.
Is that San
Almost
Francisco?
certainly lived longer. It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
A baby?
Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah, you've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew. As soon as I make the connections I need. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the
Floating ceiling fan.
standing around looking tough. I thought San Francisco was my chance to start fresh. I was the hot shit, the gunslinger from the hub, rolling into town with the world at my feet. Everybody knew I was the one who'd shot Valdez.
Who?
I could write my own ticket to any outfit in town. It all worked out pretty damn well. For a while.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got it.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
What does this have to do with him stealing our baby?
How did you think this was gonna end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs.
I knew it. I knew they'd die.
You weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself. I don't remember much from that time. It all kind of blends together. It was almost always a bar, though. That's universal. There was always a job for someone like me. Didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter who I was supposed to kill. I got pretty good at it. There's always someone who wanted someone else dead. Sometimes just roughed up, but dead was usually what they wanted. Sometimes they thought they could cheat me. That was usually only when I first arrived somewhere. Didn't matter to me. They just took it as part of the job. Little extra thrown in for free. I always got paid in the end. One way or another. I didn't care where I was going. Ended up mostly wandering east. Getting as far away from San Francisco as I could, maybe.
Okay, but this still does not explain what's happening.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you.
And, you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you. The job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it. So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Okay, so his family died. He became some sort of hired person.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided
Ah.
to work with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed. I finally ended up in the Commonwealth. I kinda ran out of road. Plus, I'd come to terms with life. I wasn't gonna be stupid enough to get mixed up with caring.
That is
about
just
people
creepy.
again. It was just me against the world. And the world had it coming. First synths weren't all that impressive. I'm good, but I'm not that good. But the Institute could always make more,
Ew.
and kept making them better each time. They still give me the creeps, but you have to get used to them if you want to work with the Institute. First synths weren't all that impressive. You heard all sorts of rumors about the Institute. But I figured they were just a convenient boogeyman for anything bad that ever happened. They were real, all right. They didn't know anything about operating on the surface. Relied on their synths for everything. They had the resources I needed, and I had the expertise they needed. Turned into a permanent arrangement, which suited me just fine.
As you can see,
What do you want?
it's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I can see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate.
Systems offline.
Loot. Oh.
Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something. We're running out of brain here. There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override
Ah.
initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Eggheads never liked taking orders from a dirty, contaminated degenerate like me. But they needed me. And I made sure they knew it. The eggheads never liked taking... I was now the Institute's main operator in the Commonwealth. If they needed something done, they came to me.
Me.
For anybody from
That's
the
not me.
Institute to come along on a mission, so
That's me.
this one stood out. I didn't know then who it was we were grabbing from the vault. Of course, neither did they. Not really.
All computers are still working.
I never knew why we didn't just refreeze the rest of them. But we had our orders. Guess the old man didn't want so many loose ends. Too bad he left alive the one person he shouldn't have.
That's good. Checking.
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving her alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if she somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If she could take me out, they won't be able to hide from her for long.
Hopefully it's all just...
I'm glad I didn't have to kill the kid. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but...
I found another intact memory.
Never like to.
Whenever you're ready.
But it was better this way. Better than taking his kid and leaving him alive.
Pod C6, down the hall near the end.
Okay.
This is the one. Here.
Open it. I never knew why we didn't just refreeze the rest of them. But we had our orders.
Never mind that.
Guess the old man didn't want so many loose ends. Too bad he left alive the one person he shouldn't have.
My baby. And my husband, whose name I can't remember. I want to say... Oh, Nate. There we are.
Is it almost? Everything's gonna be fine.
Come here, baby.
I got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean.
God damn it.
My baby.
Get the kid out of here. Let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
What's the holdup? I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
Okay, now finally we should get some answers, and we must be at the exit. This should tell us where they took him.
Is that your son?
Wasn't my
This appears
idea
to
to
be a
settle
very
down
recent
with the
memory.
kid in the middle of Diamond City.
Good news, I think.
I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long. This whole setup in Diamond City was part of some elaborate plan of the old man's.
Who is this old man?
Seems obvious now that we were bait for our friend from the vault. Timing couldn't have been an accident. It's not how the old man works. I wonder if he outsmarted me in the end. Another loose end tied up.
Kellogg.
Who's this?
A new breed of synths could easily pass as human.
Oh.
Some of them did. But the Coursers, they weren't built to blend in.
Corsair.
They were killing machines. Pure and simple. Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side. It's okay. One of these days, you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue.
Ooh.
Dr. Brian Virgil.
So we gotta find him.
Somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
What the? They have teleporters? What the shit?
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
This doctor's voice sounds familiar. How do we get out? Oh, the TV.
Slow movements, okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done.
Where's Nick?
How do you feel?
I'm okay, Doctor. Thank you.
That's good. But I want you to keep monitoring yourself. We have to be sure there's no long-term damage. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
There's more than one person who knows about the Institute. Virgil, that scientist who escaped.
I didn't know Institute scientists could defect. This changes everything. He could answer all sorts of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That can't be right. No one would risk going there, not even to hide.
If we need to find Virgil, then I'm going after him.
If you're going to go, be prepared. You'll need some way to combat the radiation there. It's called the glowing sea for a reason.
I'll find a way.
Find a way to get through the rats. Don't worry.
Good luck, and be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Remove the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
Cool, cool.
Dr. Amari?
Be careful of the radiation. The glowing sea isn't a place to be caught unprepared.
Ah, there you are.
Hey, Valentine.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head.
What the hell?
That was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
What did you say?
What? What are you talking about?
You sounded like Kellogg just then.
Did I? Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going.
Okay.
Get going, Nick.
Been one heck of a ride so far. Let's see where it takes us next. That whole business with Dr. Mari.
You got anything to say?
Irma.
The memory den's not accepting new clients right now, sweetheart.
I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it.
Sure.
Sure thing. What's the case?
Well, this one's straight out of the archives. Once upon a time, in the land of Boston, there lived a king of organized crime, Eddie Winter. He was a bad man.
Oh.
A lot of bad things.
Operation Winter's End. The holotapes we've been hearing.
So he sealed himself inside a personal shelter, located underneath a sub shop he used as a headquarters.
Eddie Winter was from my time. Real scumbag.
The story gets even more twisted. The arrogant bastard wanted to cheat death, live forever, so he could come out of that shelter someday into this brave new world. Sound familiar? Only Eddie didn't want to be a frozen banana. No cryo sleep for him, no. He invested his money in some sick, crazy radiation experiment.
You don't mean to tell me he used that radiation to...
That's right. Eddie Winter went and turned himself into a ghoul. 200 years before it was fashionable. Hell, he was probably the first one. And I'm convinced that he's still locked inside that shelter. Safe and sound. Ready to come out and begin his evil reign all over again. I'm gonna find him and kill him, so that never happens. You in?
Okay.
All right, Nick. Let's get the bad guy.
Good. Now, I know where Winter's vault is, but the door is sealed with a complex numerical code. Lucky for us, Winter's arrogance knew no bounds. Back in the day, he recorded 10 holotapes.
We found 3 of them.
Indicating different criminal associates. On each one, he hit a single number. We find all of those holotapes, we get all the numbers. We get all the
Shit,
numbers, we get
how are we going to find all of them?
And then we get Winter. I've been putting together a file on this one for a while now. There's a pair of holotapes in here worth listening to.
Oh.
Including one of Winter's. I managed to snatch from the Cambridge Police evidence lockup before getting swarmed by Fearals. My gut tells me the Boston Police evidence terminals are the key to cracking this one. It's probably worth paying a visit to any of the departments you might have stumbled across.
So we found 4 of them. Hopefully it should tell us where the rest are. We got a lot of new side quests. Okay guys, I'll end the episode there. Make sure to like and subscribe. I love you all, and I hope I see you in more Fallout 4. Bye!